somebody asked me the other day, like, if I could come back, if there was one thing I could change about me, I was like, give me those eyebrows.
That came up very creepy, by the way. I'd have your eyebrows.
Well, that's how it probably came across.
And that's why she stopped talking to you and she ran away.
She ran away.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know,
makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Donate things. They donate everything. No one donates the eyebrows. I feel like I'm an eyebrow case. I deserve someone's eyebrows in their will. If you've got nice eyebrows, just consider leaving them to me in your will. That's what I'm saying. Yeah?
Must not say it.
Must not yes, don't say it, Max. Whatever it is that you were not going to say, don't. Also, let's talk about coffee, because...
Let's talk about coffee.
Coffee podcast. Hey, listen, lots has happened. Apparently, people keep annoying me by saying things like, "Where's Max?" I'm like, ugh!
Yeah, but then I come on the show and people say, does Max think that interrupting Nick every 20 seconds is entertaining? Actually, yes, it is very amusing.
That's kind of the point. It's like
the whole reason why I'm here is to interrupt Nick so that he stops rambling about things.
Welcome to the show.
Duh.
Oh God, we've all got a job to do, Max. We've all got a job.
I know. I know my place at least.
No, you know, I had there's a girl who listens sometimes called Lily, not my ex-wife. Lily, by the way, my ex-wife is called Lily. I think she's Italian. I haven't asked her. I think she's Italian because she's like, hey, where's that Italian guy? Where's Max? She's and also
Lily, typical Italian name. Yeah.
It's not, is it? It didn't sound very Italian, but I don't know.
Yeah, it could be Liliana. Who knows? My auntie was called Liliana.
Oh well, there you go. What are you saying? Anyway, she wrote me an essay, and on the comments, have you not seen it on the Lagon P64?
Totally.
And normally, like, I just don't. And like it sort of waters off a duck's back, and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, people write to me, it's like, you know, hey Nick, you suck or something. I'm like, oh, okay.
You know, constructive ones.
Yeah, but you know, something like that. And I'm like, She wrote me a thing, and I actually made the mistake of actually sort of like going, like right back to her.
Oh my God! She
wrote to me like, hey, did you actually test it before you wrote the comments? I was like, oh, actually, I did actually.
I've got data.
But no. She was super nice, actually. She comments like, she actually seems to know what she's talking about. We should get her on the show. Finally, we can get somebody on that knows what they're talking about.
It would be about time. I think it's long overdue. By the way,
yeah.
I want our nerds to laugh at these and to.
Well, I can't. Sweet chromatogram. Oh, okay, you're doing chromatography or that one, yeah. Say it.
Chromatography.
Yeah, chromatography. That's what I said.
I got a freebie.
You went to a trade show, didn't you?
No, I've ordered expensive stuff.
Oh, right. That's from the equipment people.
Yeah. But yeah. It's a fun one. This is a very fun one.
Do you know, I'll tell you something really weird. You'll like this, Max. I was over in Germany doing this coffee training. We'll talk about maybe a bit later. But the guy that I was training with, Dr. Schwartz, has access to a particle. I know, I love saying the name. Schwartz. It sounds, you know.
He's got access to a particle sizer.
Particle accelerator. And
why would you? What has to do with coffee?
Well,
you grind particles. You don't accelerate them.
No, they were smashing them and looking at the color that came off of it. I don't know. Look, I'm not smart enough. I sat in the room with him and nodded like I knew what he was saying. He showed me graphs.
So he's got access to a particle accelerator. The synchrotron in Switzerland.
No, it's the one in Mannheim in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what about it? What does he do?
Because he was talking. No, because your shirt brought it up because it was that he's looking at the chronography. Is that right?
No.
Chromatography.
It's two different. No. Two different things.
Oh.
He's doing chromo something. This is chromatography. This is separation of molecules in a column.
I think
Has a lot of similarities with coffee. Particle accelerators generate wavelengths which can be from UV to X-rays and all in between. And they're very pure because they can use basically single wavelengths, and they can refine it really, really well. And that's why you normally have a very focused beam of X-rays, and you normally use synchrotron generated X-rays to have high resolution X-ray data.
You know what I'm
But
thinking,
it's for
Max?
it's for diffractions.
Yeah, it was
diffraction.
it was something to do with diffraction. I sort of, as you're talking, I'm just thinking
Crystallography he was doing then.
who knows? Look, I sort of feel like, imagine you went back in time, right, to the time of caveman, and there's a caveman sitting there, like trying to rub sticks together to make fire. He's really excited. He thinks he's super high tech. That's me, by the way. And then you come along and you start trying to explain quantum mechanics to caveman. That's kind of what was going through my head.
That's actually far removed from what I know. But
I'm like, is it like this stick? Is it like a stick, Max?
I would like a stick.
Because I know a lot about these sticks.
It's absolutely fine. Yeah, I'll take the stick.
Yeah. So I listen.
That's more stick than you can shake a stick out of.
Should a stick out. Look, I've got just so much news. I don't even know where to start. So I
Start from.
Now you start.
Number 3.
Number 3. Well, number 3.
Number 3. You will not believe number 4.
You won't believe number 4.
So I will say something actually.
Go on.
You know that this is a gourmet coffee show, so I've been told. So we talk about fancy coffees that have been aged in where
Every bean has been
has been aged in a cotton swaddle over the rock of the mountain of doom. And so I went to Lidl and I got these.
You cheap and dirty person.
Italiamo.
Oh, well, it must be good.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's Italian.
Actually, there were 2 types where I could choose from. So it was, as you know, torque wrenches, bolts, lawnmower, and then there was coffee beans and Jaffa cakes.
Oh.
You know, as you have it in Lidl, right next to the fish. So this is Espresso Magnifico.
Wow.
I know, right? I had
Magnifico.
I was very, sparkly eyed when I saw these. And there was another one that was something about coffee. It was coffee, but it didn't have Espresso Magnifico. So I thought, I took the other bag
Who
first,
wouldn't
then I saw
go
these.
with the Magnifico, right?
I saw these then, and I was like, oh wow, maybe these would work.
They don't work, do they?
So it was, I think it was £5 for a kilo.
£5 for a kilo.
And that should have told me something.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. That's not going to.
But if it's amazing. So if you open it and you do the I have a cat here, and you do the.
You can smell the chemicals.
It smells of coffee, and if you look at it, you kind of can make out the. These are not treats, you sausage. I have a cat here looking at me. If you look at the coffee, you can see that.
Well, it's a dark roast.
Well, I was going to say they one step away from barbecue briquettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no, that's gonna.
Oh
be so
no,
annoying.
you've wasted 1 bean.
No,
of the Magnifico. A Magnifico bean.
I wasted 3 beans and I only found 2.
Freedom. Okay.
I'm gonna put them back because it's not that it's going to affect the taste anyway.
No, in fact, just sweep the floor. Anything you pick up off the floor should probably.
I'm gonna rub them on the cat litter. So anyway, it is espresso. It is for sure Robusta, obviously, because so it's a blend with Robusta and God knows what else. Probably I don't know. Teak.
Yeah. was hard to see from there, but there were some larger beans in there that looked a bit more like Arabica, but I couldn't really see.
I don't know. I know actually Robusta normally is bigger than Arabica. Arabica is smaller beans.
Well, yeah.
But it depends where you grow them, because if you take, for example, Colombian coffee, Jamaican, Dominican Republic, the beans are they look like cherries, and it's Arabica anyway.
Yeah,
so it depends how it grows.
Depends on what altitude it grows
Yeah.
at.
So these have probably been grown in a barn.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, it's nice. It does the trick. You put it in the coffee machine, and it makes espresso. It makes crema. It actually does look like that.
Yeah.
Now, just don't remove the crema, because it will give out the fact that it doesn't really. It's not very dark. It's kind of but it's surprisingly okay. And I was swayed by the Rainforest Alliance.
Wow. Okay.
Thingamajig.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. And, you never know.
Yeah.
£5. I'm so looking forward to finish it. And the problem with this is that we normally get, medium roasts. I like medium roasts, not dark roasts, medium roasts. 1 kilo. But we always speak about, weight. So 1 kilo of medium roast is quite heavy.
Yep.
1 kilo of a very dark roast, it's 98% air.
Alcohol.
So which means that if you put 18 grams of these in your 18 grams basket, you have to sit on it.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, don't. I mean, it's okay. It's okay if you have large gatherings. I have to admit one thing. I have made it in the mocha pot, and it's not bad. It wasn't bad. It was bitter like life, but
you deserve it, Max. I think
I deserved it.
Can I just say, I don't think the coffee is good at all. I think the coffee is terrible. What's actually happening is that secretly, you know that you don't deserve good coffee. And
Probably, yeah. I went with you can't have special every day. No, actually, to be honest, I thought it was going to be a lot worse. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, £5. Come on, £5, 1 kilo of coffee.
You're hurting me, Max, because somewhere down the road, some coffee farmer has just, who's living on a penny a day, is just, cursing.
Yeah, fair enough. I completely understand.
Yeah, but that's the world we live in.
We also live with a penny a day sometimes. So, I thought, I'll give it a go. It's not bad. It's obviously not great coffee. It's not great choices. These beans, I mean, even if they were paid fairly, they would never have made it to the market, because who would have wanted them? They're not very good.
No, funny enough, look, okay, you've just hit the nail on the head.
Of course I do. That's what I do.
Coffee out there. But here's an interesting thing. And this was, so I'm going to be a bit boorish, because I'm going to go on for probably a few weeks about what I learned.
Weeks?
No, not on just this one podcast. So next few weeks, I'm going to be bringing up a similar subject again and again, which was how much more I appreciate the quality of beans in terms of flavor. But I guess before I was really focused on equipment and just assumed if I bought decent coffee, it would be decent quality. I'll tell you something I found, because I got a subscription from, who they called the Sage people, beans.com. I started because I was just interested to see what they would deliver me. And I started it a couple months ago, or maybe 3 months ago, and they delivered some different bags. And so I kind of okay, I'll try. So it's kind of forcing me to try roasters that I wouldn't otherwise normally try, perhaps. Anywho, I got some coffee from a company that we had actually tried before, you and I, and we had sort of reasonably liked it, but it was different views, and they got a good taste award. And I opened up the bag, looked at the beans, and then I opened up a bag of Carvetii coffee, which I've got, and looked at the beans, and it was night and day. Which is sort of what I now know in terms of looking at roasting technique and how beans have been picked and chosen, I was like, whoa, this is like, there was quite a few defects in the bag, not from Carvetii. Carvetii's beans were well roasted, all good quality. This other company, which does very good marketing and has won this Good Taste Award and yada, 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 their beans were frankly a mess. They were all over the place. It was really quite interesting. And something that...
Is that an actual problem?
It is, and I tell you, so again, I'm going to be very boorish about this and pick up some things. One of the things we did after we learned to identify flavors, different flavors and different kind of acidities and sweetness and bitterness and whatever in our mouth, was we started to then look for defects in the cup and then try to identify where those defects had perhaps come from. And so we would do these blind tastings, and one of the blind tastes that we did was we got some we added some defects. So basically we got some chaff. Just added a little bit of chaff into the coffee. All the rest were the same. And we were trying it, and we could immediately spot the coffee with the chaff in it. And so we started looking at different defects. And there's a few times during the course that we, even one time where we accidentally used the bag with defects in it. And we were going, this isn't right. Something's wrong with this. Like, are you sure? Like, is this a trick? And they were like, no. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We got the... And so you definitely can pick up the difference when someone's not taking care with their beans. So it's not just a case of like, oh, these beans are of this type or this variety or it's Arabica. Oh, by the way, this is one of the other things. I'm drinking some filter coffee at the moment, which is very strange for me. But
I know. What's wrong with you? Are you okay?
Well, this is the thing, right? So when we were tasting, do you know what we were tasting for the whole time over there was, I would say 90% was, I'm going to call it Robusta, but I mean it's Canephora, which is the and Robusta's a variety. But it was all Canephora coffee, and I was amazed at how good it was, and the difference.
It can be very good.
Well, this is what I really wanted to ask you. Actually, I wanted to get some value out of this call. I wanted to ask. I was this. So we're in Germany, and they're roasting a lot of Canephora coffee, i.e. Robusta, but it's actually not Robusta. It's different like SL. Whatever it is, 278 or whatever. But the thing is they're growing really good quality of it. And so they're making, and they're picking, and they're choosing, and they're roasting it well, and you're getting a really nice coffee, not as acidic as Arabica, right? But
which is, for me, is a great thing.
Yeah, for some people it's fine. And so I know for some of my friends, they don't want that. But what you get is you get a nice rounded mouthfeel, a lot of sweetness, maybe berries, maybe stone fruit. Maybe that umami, that sort of coffee, whatever flavor coming through. But
sure,
yeah, but
I don't know what umami is.
Well, it's this
kind of like definitely umami,
like soy. Soy. If you know what soy sauce is like, that's a kind of umami kind of taste.
Okay, last thing I would think about coffee, but sure.
You know what I'm saying? Umami. Like that. Well, it's that coffee flavor. It's that thing that a lot of people associate with coffee. Maybe a little bit of bitterness, but the bitterness is rounded and not peaky, and so you're getting that, and you're getting, oh, that's a really nice cup of coffee. So I started looking up, saying, I don't mind having a bit of, and it's cheaper, so I don't mind having a bit of Canephora back here. Let me go and take a look at UK roasters that are selling it. I couldn't find any. Yeah, I'm not going to Lidl, pal. I'm not. Is that Robusta? Is that Canephora?
No, this is Arabica. This is Arabica. This is the ones that have been aged in whiskey barrels. But I brought the prop because they actually do an Arabica blend, which is lovely.
All right,
it's really good. It's a blend.
This is
it's an Italian style blend.
This is your fuzzy video. I know it'll be good.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's come on. It's a yellow. It's a yellow bag. It's unmistakable. It's dark woods,
right? Yeah.
So dark woods actually, they have, and I've been ordering it for a while because I really like it. They have a Robusta blend, which is based on Robusta. It's an Italian style thing, and Honestly, it's great. It's really, really nice.
Wow.
It's a dark roast, Italian style, Robusta and Arabica blend that has. It's very chocolatey, it's very classic espresso style, classic Italian espresso style, and it's really good. You can tell that it's Arabica if you overdo it, if you overcook it, if you put too much in your grinder, you can actually feel that rubbery taste a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's it's not them, it's you.
Right.
Because you're putting too much coffee in there, so you make it lighter. You go instead of 18, you go 16 grams.
Yeah.
You do it as it should be done on an Italian busy bar. So 16 grams.
Are you making espresso with it or what?
So I make espresso with it, but you can make mocha pot with it. I have made a filter, but you need to be very careful with filter because it's a dark roast, and obviously it will go through a lot. So if you have temperature controlled,
yeah, I do.
pour over, then you can do 85, 80.
That's my temperature. I just happen to keep my kettle all nearby with this. It's got this. I can see. And I can.
So if you if you heat up the water at around 80, 85 degrees, at that point you can get a good pour over with that coffee. And I really want to say which one it is because I forgot. But it's.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to. I need to grab something. Hold on. I'm going to move over carefully because I'm not wearing trousers.
Oh, careful. So, the coffee that is for Robusta.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm wearing shorts, but I don't want to show people my shorts.
Oh, I haven't seen it, thankfully. I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah, so very hot today. It's hotter here than it is in sort of hot countries. Do you know?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So the one is, I think, it's Deer Hill.
Ah, okay. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't want a dark roast. I want a medium roast Robusta.
It's a medium roast.
Oh, it is.
It's I mean, it's not a very dark roast. It's a medium roast, and it's got specialty grade Arabica and Robusta. So it's got Colombia Elata, India Calavedarapura, I have no idea, India Harley Estate, and Brazil Passeio.
Okay.
So it's a very nice coffee that I really recommend it.
I'll give it a go.
So Darkwoods Deer Hill, it's really nice. And being Robusta, it means that it doesn't require as much care to grow it, so it's a little greener.
How dare you? It does require.
I do.
It's not that they don't require as much care. It's that they're more resilient. They're not as prima donna as the Arabica.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a little more rustic. So, and I mean, also, it probably has a higher yield, I suppose. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know enough about coffee plants, but there is more of it.
Yeah. Well, it depends on all sorts of things. But it was actually very.
So basically, we're going full circle now. We're going from. We have a Robusta coffee. I mean, whatever coffee, just roast it into oblivion. Then you go, we do a blend. We put something interesting in it, just a little bit of Arabica. Then we do 100% Arabica, but still roast it to oblivion. And then we do, let's do light roasts and do funny stuff and get all the flavors. And now we're going back to adding Robusta into it.
Well,
so
I mean,
we went almost full circle.
Prices are getting so expensive. This is the thing. And there's been who is it?
And mind you, that Robusta blend is not cheap, but it's cheaper than the other 100% Arabicas.
Yeah. So. I think it was Lavazza is getting into trouble with Tesco's or something where they've upped their coffee prices and Tesco's is trying to push back.
Okay.
But the thing is that you know what? There's an awful lot of Canephora coffee out there, and it is cheaper. It's cheaper not because it's a worse product, but because it's easier to grow, and you get a higher yield from it because it's easier to grow. And therefore you can, maths makes sense. But
it has less complexity, granted, in the flavor profile.
Well, do you know what? The interesting thing is that that's not necessarily true. The thing is that most people are getting their Robusta, they are getting the cheap versions that are made by machines en masse in Brazil, right? If you go to Brazil, they've got these huge farms with these giant machines that are the size of a city, going through the trees, picking everything, and they don't then sort them. They just throw it all into the pot, roast it, sell it, because that's the cheapest way to sell it. Of course, you're because it doesn't taste as good.
That's how you keep the prices down.
Yeah, but you can still get a cheaper Canephora coffee that is picked just like an Arabica, right? So you can get natural processed, all the rest of it, that has tons of flavor to it, different flavors, not the same acidity, but sweeter. So you get a sweeter coffee, but you still get stone fruits. You still get, maybe some acidic fruits in there as well. Maybe you can get florals in there as well. You can get the whole range, but it is going to be less acidic. And so if you want acidity, it's not
since when that's a bad thing anyway.
Interestingly, that's been a trend, but that's a fashion.
I know.
I wonder if that fashion is going to go away. So
hopefully tomorrow, first thing in the morning.
So you can get the farms and they are harder to find because, it's more of a specialty thing, but you get the farms that are making really good Canephora coffee, really high quality. And I've been there and I've seen held the beans in my hand and looked at the quality of them, and they're absolutely top notch. These ones in particular are coming from India and El Salvador. These when I say Robustas, these Canephoras again. I can't remember the varieties they were, but for everybody's Robustas, and they were absolutely fantastic, but they were cheaper. So I would like to see some roasters really starting to bring some quality Canephora blends in, because it'll keep the prices down. People won't know. You just don't tell them,
Well, I think you should tell them because you need to disclose.
I'm not saying don't tell them. I'm not saying hide it. I'm just saying don't make a big thing about saying it's not 100%, because people associate Arabica with quality, rightly or wrongly. They go, is it 100% Arabica? Oh, it's not good quality then.
Yeah.
And that's the shame.
True. Which is a silly thing. But
it is a silly thing.
Fair enough.
We're all silly people, Max. We're all silly people.
Well, you are.
I am.
I'm not.
I'm
not. I'm a very serious person.
Of course you're serious. You're a scientist. You want to hear? So anyway, listen. So my Lagom. What do you think of my Lagom?
It's a grinder.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, finally, someone. Yeah, it is not a washing machine. It is a grinder.
It is not a washing machine. I thought you bought a washing machine, but yet it was a grinder.
Well, the first one was a washing machine. I had to send it back because the beans just didn't go well.
Oh.
But no, it's a grinder, and it's. I'm gonna. So
how are you finding it?
Well, I mean, I'm conscious that I don't want to sort of give it all away before I do maybe a few more weeks testing on it. But I can say that the workflow is so much more enjoyable to me now, and the coffee's better. That pretty much sums up the review. The coffee's better, and I prefer the workflow. Is it the best grinder in the world ever that's ever going to? No, I'm sure there's better ones out there. The thing is, everything's relative, isn't it? So coming from where I came from and the way I was working, I'm getting better coffee now. That's the bottom line, and I'm enjoying it. Is the other important thing. The only thing I'd say is it's possible to leave it on and not notice. It's so quiet. I had mine on all day the other day, and then Peter came down and he was like, "What does that sound?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I don't know what that sound is." I thought, "Is it something? Is there a pump somewhere? Something outside?" And we looked around and it was like, "Oh, your grinder's on." It's been on all day. It was on for like 6 hours or something.
Okay, that's good. Good.
It just either that or I'm going deaf. I mean, it could be both. I don't know.
I don't know where that is good, but it's probably there's a good thing to it.
Yeah, well, look, at 4 o'clock in the morning when I get up, I don't want to be like, Sorry, people. I didn't mean to burst your eardrums.
I don't know. I got used to the because I started to be a little lazy these days, and I set up the grinder on the Gaja
Yeah.
on the Paros. Yeah,
So
it's easier to have
it's
it
in a hopper,
automatic.
and you just
Yeah,
yeah.
I just single those into the hopper. The problem is, it's great because it separates the chaff by spraying it on the outside of the grinder and
By
leaving it
throwing it
there
all over the
forever.
kitchen. That's wonderful.
No, it doesn't do that because it's all enclosed.
Oh, right. Okay.
So when you open it, you find that all of the chaff is actually gone on the outside of the grinder, and it stays there forever.
Ah.
So you need to clean it every now and then, and to clean it, you actually need to take the machine apart, which I do anyway because I serviced it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I vacuumed it, but it was funny because I was like, oh, that's all the chaff there. Okay, good. Well, it doesn't go into your coffee.
That's
That's
the
a
main
positive.
thing.
But it's loud. It's really loud. Which it's obviously a bit annoying.
Yeah.
But it's a conical burr grinder. It's okay. It does its job. I managed to find a happy medium for it. Obviously, the hand grinder is still better, but I am a little lazy these days, and I don't feel like having a workout in the morning.
Do you know what? I started using the hand grinder for making filter coffee. Now here's the thing. Here's a little thing. 'Cause I only ever drink espresso, as you know. But it's changed since I was over in doing the course. Because of one thing, or two things. One, because I was drinking less acidic coffee, which I prefer in a filter, whatever it is. So that there was that. I was like, oh yeah, actually this is really nice coffee. There's a lot of complexity to it, but it's rounded and it's nice, and that goes well with my bacon and eggs. The second thing was this, Max. I'm going to show it to you. And by the way, this is first.
If I can make it out, because I see you.
No, I haven't done it. I'm bringing it in from the side. I was going to be dramatic. Look, hold on a second.
Right.
I'm going to bring it in from the side. Ready? That. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? It's the first time on the internet. Big reveal. It's from the Coffee Consulate people. But
Right.
look at that. See them? See them holes?
No.
Yeah, you can. You can see the hole.
No, I can't. Really, I cannot.
You can't? How can you not see the hole?
Okay, I see the holes now. Yes.
Okay, great. So basically, this is what's called an RS16 filter. And I smashed my finger on my motorcycle helmet. Like, do you know when you lift up your visor on your motorcycle? Just don't get your finger in there. That's the answer. Ah! I put my finger. My finger. I did an hour.
How did you do that?
Well, I was coming. I went to the gym this morning. I'm trying to be less fat. So I went to the gym this morning at 7 a.m. and I came back and I was running late to get stuff done. So I ripped up the visor and had my finger inside between the visor and the helmet.
Like that.
Yeah.
How? You do it this way.
I know it's a talented
thumb that way.
It's a talent. Anyway,
Seriously.
This is called. Go look up RS16 Coffee. And you'll find people doing reviews, mostly in China. So how's your Chinese?
Great, yes.
Super, I thought so. So you'll see them doing them in using metal or glass ones. This is the first. This is not for sale. This is a prototype version in POM material, and the reason they've done it in that material is because it's cheaper. The glass one.
What material is it?
They call it POM, which they had a long name. I said plastic, and they got very excited and jumped up and down and said it's POM.
POM?
POM.
Metacrylate? Poly or something metacrylate?
I'm sure that's what he said in German. Anyway, the metal one's like 130 euros.
Right.
And because it's a solid piece of metal that they have to machine. It was expensive. And the glass one, the problem with the glass one is it can break. So they came up with this one. And I stole the only two that they had. I said, I promise I'll pay you, as I ran out the door. But we were making it with all three of these things. Here's the amazing thing. So there's lots of reasons. I'm going to go through this in another call. But there's a lot of reasons why this is a better design. But you basically just put the coffee in this. You put this on a little ring, which I don't have with me. And you put it over your cup, and you just pour into it. There's no paper.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that the taste is really good. The taste of the coffee through this thing is really, really good. And
So it's like a metal filter. Is there a mesh in there or just holes?
nope, just holes. Yeah.
So what's the contact time?
Especially shaped holes. About 3.5 minutes. I'm doing mine at.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I'm
yeah.
intrigued.
It's weird, isn't it? And
Yeah.
they sort of they specially designed the shapes of these holes, and they've engineered them. I don't know, whatever. But it creates a really nice, clean, rounded, sweet cup.
So you said you stole the two that I have.
Yeah.
Where's mine?
Yeah, I gave one as a birthday present to my son Peter, and then I kept the other one for myself.
Oh, come on.
I'll come round. I'll come round to
Oh,
your
come
place.
on now.
I'll come round to your place. We'll try it out.
I'm crossed at you now.
Oh, hold on a second. Let's check this out.
And he's gone. Leaving me alone. I have... Put your headphones on.
Hold on.
Put your
Wait a minute. I gotta put my head.
put your headphones on.
So
I have said many profanities.
yeah, I bet you have.
Of course I did.
I bought Peter these like filter tasting kits to go with his.
Okay.
Which I had this morning. So I bought it for him, and I'm drinking all his coffee.
Well, it's payback, isn't it?
It's payback. So I got these four. You get these four. I think it was like 30 or 40 quid or something for these 4 bags of beans. But the other great thing I like about this system is that you only use 14 grams of coffee, and you get 220 grams out. So 220 grams of water plus the 14, so you get 230, whatever it is, out. So
That's about right, really.
yeah, it's about right. Yeah,
Because it's the same as you use in a pour over, more or less,
Right.
unless you want to make a super concentrated. But
No,
it's
no.
excessive, I think.
No, this is perfect. This is
So-
really working out nice. It's a nice cup of coffee. I got my kettle with the temperature adjustment on it. I just put it on a cup. I don't have any papers to wet and throw away, and there's no potential flavor additive from the paper. You just get the coffee. It's really nice. Yeah.
That's interesting. I am intrigued.
very
So I am intrigued with mesh
Let's
filters.
work. Oh, okay, right.
It's similar process. It's just that in that case it's a pour over. It's I'm curious about that.
Yeah. Go check
know
out the
more.
Chinese videos, because there's one where this Chinese couple, she's going, they have I think the glass one, and her favorite thing is like AeroPress, and she's like, nothing can beat an AeroPress. And she's like,
I
"I'm gonna do a
have
blend."
many
So
comments.
I think they do a
about that.
V60, they do an AeroPress, and they do the R60, and she blind tastes it, and she's like, well, clearly she picks the R60 one. That's the AeroPress. It's much better. He's like, no, you idiot. Now you look like a fool.
Yeah, there's many things that are better than AeroPress, but hey,
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. So when I go on site to my client, to my clients, I go on site. I
my
want them
client,
to stay.
sir.
Yeah, I've got to remember. I've got to. I'm yeah. Anyway, so when I go on site, just keep me just stum there. Shut up, Nick. When I go on site, I have to stay at a hotel, and the hotel.
Oh, poor boy.
Yeah, you say that, but the last time I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what's noticed? If you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning in a hotel, they think you're weird. They think that you're going to try
It's
to steal
not
something.
if you do that in a hotel they think you're weird. You can remove that if you do it in a hotel and
No, but-
just say, if you wake up at 4 a.m., you're weird.
No, but I'm walking around this big hotel at 4 a.m. trying to find a coffee machine, right? Because all there is a pouch of Nescafe, and it's a posh hotel, and there's a pouch of Nescafe in the room, and I'm like,
Yep.
you're kidding me! I'm not going to accept that. So I'm walking around trying to find anything that will give me coffee, like something better than the Nescafe, and security accosted me. Can I help you, sir? What are you doing?
Can I just do a little bit of... Now, let's imagine these from the security point of view. So I'm security. It's 4 a.m., which means it's not early morning. It's late night. So at late at night, very late at night, there is a guy wandering around in the hotel looking for coffee. Do you think he's drunk? And also, what would you do and how would you approach him?
Well, two things.
Please proceed.
First of all, I'm wearing clothes. So that's a good start.
Yeah,
that's
a
did,
start.
because I got up and I could have walked out in my underpants.
Yeah, you're doing better than 98% of Great Britain these days. I mean, seriously, I am wearing a t-shirt, and I will go out wearing a shirt or a t-shirt. You know, it's fine.
I know. Don't get me started. We can start another podcast about that.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, I walked up and said, I'm just trying to find coffee. And he looked at me like I was the weirdest person. I was like, what is so weird about wanting to get a cup of coffee? I mean, come on. Anyway, the point is, now I have this. I've got the kettle in the room. I don't need him. I can take my grinder with me.
Yeah.
And I'm done. I've got good coffee.
Yeah, and you could have done exactly the same with a V60 kit.
Oh, then I've got the paper and
it's the same.
It's not the same. Look,
come on.
How much room does that take up? And now on my V60, I've got a glass jar that I've got to keep.
But that's because you wanted a glass jar. But if you get the plastic thingy majib that you put on top of the cup, forgotten the word here. You put on top of the cup, you put that on, and you bring in filters and coffee and the grinder. There you go.
I throw that in. I don't have to think about anything. Do I have the thing? Yes.
Completely
I'm ready to go.
Completely understand and completely agree with you, but that is not the biggest part of your kit. Come on.
Yeah, let's try a light.
It's the hand grinder.
Smell the coffee. Hold on.
Yeah, you smell the coffee. You go ahead.
Go in. Oh, that's good stuff. So, hey, Max. Okay. How's your work going? How are your PowerPoints?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Fantastic.
I'm PowerPointing away.
Excellent. So let's wrap that up. I'm going to talk in. I might go and I'm going to look. I'll look them up.
You should totally try that. I mean, this is amazing if you mix it with other coffees. If you have it on its own, it's a bit too much.
Okay.
It's a bit too whiskey.
So we'll see if this works. Am I recording? It does sound correct. Yeah, I'm recording. Good. So we'll see if this works. This thing. Don't close your browser.
Don't close my browser.
Until it says 100%. It says 99%, but it's constantly at 99%. And then we will...
97.
Wow. And then we will reconvene. I think, you know what we'll do, Max? Either... I might have to go to Serbia for a week or two.
Either or either.
No, I'm just thinking. I'd love to come over and show this to you. I'd love to see what you think about it. But then equally, we need to talk about the Lagom in a week or two's time, in a couple of weeks' time. I know, maybe in a couple of weeks if you've got time. I'd really like to go through that in depth with you. And the other thing, put a pin in this, Max. Put a pin in this. I want to talk in depth about super automatic machines because I've had a revelation on it.
We should get 5 of them, 7 of them.
They are down the road. Did you know Eversys?
What?
Eversys have set up in the UK down in Basingstoke or somewhere. It's not far from us.
Okay.
Oh, let's do a road trip. Let's go and see them. Pretend we're going to buy stuff.
Yeah, that's going to go down well.
No, but they don't know. They don't watch this podcast. They won't know until later. When they see it, they know they've been...
What do you mean they don't watch this podcast? We are incredibly famous.
It's watch this going and go, what? Yeah, no.
You're like, yeah, we know that. We knew you were coming.
Do you know who Matt Pegger is, right?
No.
Okay, well, he's like a world champion barista Australia guy. I think he might be the guy, Pegger or Perger? Perger, I think he is. Sorry, Perger. Sorry, Matt. I think he's the guy behind Barista Hustle. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, he's very well known in the industry, and he's a bit famous, a bit of a star. He's become a brand ambassador for these super automatic machines.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had a play with one and I'm now
The one that you told me that was very good.
No, another one. I've had to play. No, the other one, they just pushed a button and made me a coffee. This time, and that wasn't an Eversys, it was somewhere else. This time, I played with an Eversys, and I was blown away by the configuration options that are in there. I'll leave that as a tease, but we'll talk about it some more because it's very interesting.
We could actually ask if we can go visit.
I would love
to.
Nice. I think I would love to go down to see Eversys. Why don't we do that? I'll give him a call.
What's stopping us?
Yeah. We'll social engineer our way down there. There's nothing that can stop us.
Free ads, free feedback.
Yeah, and we get free coffee. Basically, we'll go down in the morning.
Everybody wins.
We'll go in our pajamas. We'll go with our
at 4 a.m.
At 4 a.m. with our cup.
Okay, if it's at 4 a.m. If it's at 4 a.m., you go ahead.
Okay.
I'll come at human time.
All right, buddy. Great talking to you again.